Hello, welcome to Arte Americas. My name is John Sierra, and I was honored to curate this year's Dia de los Muertos exhibit. There have been numerous serious issues these past few years that have caused great misery across our country. The mishandling of the coronavirus pandemic, a major issue, to the California fires and dangerous air quality, plus a list of social issues is just overwhelming. These artists and poets, in keeping with the traditions and beliefs in the Day of the Dead, are concerned with the death and suffering brought upon us. We have a bone to pick.
Got a Bone to Pick by F. John Sierra, illustration print on vinyl. Native Crucifixion by Vincent Mendez, oil on canvas. Vincent says, "Soy indio. I've carried your crosses of your oppressive indignities. Soy indio, crucified for traveling 50,000 years on this land you call America. Soy indio. You say you call me Mexican, Latino, Hispanic, but now Chicano. Soy indio." The Quarantine Cafe, Non-Essentials Only by Abelino Bautista, mixed media. Abelino says, "The media was flooded with news and imagery about our current condition. The whole world was involved. I still can't believe it. I would have never guessed I'd see a pandemic in my lifetime. Nuclear war? Maybe. Pandemic? Nah. It has changed everything. Hopefully for most people in good ways. Get ready, everybody, for the new world order." Chambeando by Ricardo Rivera, mixed media. Ricardo says, "Reception of Rivera's work is an experience. It is meant to be deciphered as a puzzle would be. The intended audience is warriors who labor the good of all." Hidden Pandemia by Ileana Saucedo, oil on canvas. Ileana says, "Hidden Pandemia illuminates the beauty of a pandemic, the side humans sometimes embrace during hard times. We need to focus on the positive side of events to survive or keep a stable mental well-being, and remember that death is a natural part of the human experience, just as it's celebrated for El Dia de los Muertos." Right to Exist by Dixie Salazar, collage. Dixie says, "The inspiration for this art piece comes from my work with the homeless for the last 15 plus years. I have seen the downward spiral their lives take and the city's contribution to that cycle of poverty through punitive ordinances and outright persecution, through destruction of their property and harassment. This game of struggling to survive is one they mostly never win. I use collage and other mixed mediums in this art piece." Essential Workers by Vincent Mendez, acrylic on canvas. Vincent says, "The following content in my artwork in this summary is for those farm workers who have historically received little or no credit for their hard work, especially now in a crucial time in your lives when this pandemic has taken so many lives. If it wasn't for them, who would do the work? Me? No, I can't do it anymore. How about you? Or how about the next door middle-class neighbor? Absolutely not. So it pays homage to the farm workers with my artwork and to their families for their relentless courage despite negative criticism they have always received." Las Conexiones al Otro Lado by Andrea Torres and Jasmine Diaz, paint on wood panel. Andrea and Jasmine say, "This piece is a collaboration to honor the children that have passed away in the detention centers and on their journeys seeking asylum. It embraces a spirit world that is typically imagined in the sky world, with indigenous influences and Central American representation." In the American Dream, We Trust by Nelson Garibay, mixed media. Nelson says, "This piece talks about the collective desire and illusion of coming to the USA with the single goal of searching for a better quality of life. Nuestra gente, our people, leave their towns, countries, and loved ones behind and risk their lives attempting to cross the border walls, rivers, or deadly deserts. At the end, in the American Dream, we trust." For Trayvon, Michael, and Others by Dixie Salazar, collage. Dixie says, "Social justice issues inform much of my artwork. This was created shortly after Trayvon Martin was murdered by a citizen vigilante after Trayvon had gone to the store for Skittles. It was before the Black Lives Matter movement, but is unfortunately just as relevant today. This is a painted collage, with collage as the base and oils, chalk, and charcoal on the final version. Made in America by Ramiro Martinez, acrylic on canvas. Ramiro says, "This piece is called Made in America because it deals with things we make to achieve a certain purpose. Pain, suffering, and chain link fences, Virgen de Guadalupe, and other such deities are part of the fabric of these materials we use to incarcerate us with the intent to disrupt our dreams. The work is experimental." Dismantling Time by Michael Garcia, mixed media. Michael says, "The image of Lady Liberty stands defiant and resolute even when under attack. Her stand, to signal liberty and harbor those who seek warmth of freedom, is considered by her opponents to be a tattered and outdated concept. The process of dismantling the dream is on. Everything in front and nothing behind. Todo enfrente y nada detrás by F. John Sierra, assemblage." John says, "Searching for freedom through whatever means possible, in this case, the sewer tunnels. Possibilities may also be grim, i.e. death or incarceration." Vote 2020 by Antonio Quevedo, digital print. Antonio says, "I wanted to convey a lot of the issues leading up to 2020, but not let the message be that any of them are more or less important than the others. All life matters, and those who can vote can make a difference, or you can always create a dialogue so change can be made. It's the responsibility of us all to write and tell our story." Vote by Elia Barajas, woodcut print. This piece, again, urges us to vote. Ice, Institutional Cruelty to the Extreme by Steve de la Torre, pastel on paper. Steve says, "An early example of conquest of the indigenous by use of weapons, alliances, the horse, and above all, disease. COVID-19 is taking the lives of essential workers, affecting a large number of people of color." Basta by F. John Sierra, mixed media. Enough is a shared expression today by a majority of people. Resolve these issues and find a new and improved norm now. American Institutions of Racism by Richard Arenas, multimedia. Richard says, "As we observe the two children in the video, we see they are making racist comments about Mexicans."
What are the issues that are most important to you that Donald Trump has brought up this year?
Building a wall, we don't want Mexicans.
These are taught statements made by parents or family members.
We have surpassed our color quota. There are those who believe that we already have too many people of color in this country. And these, one of whom happens to be the President of the United States of America, would institute policies that will prevent people of color from coming to this country. White babies would not be treated the way these babies of color are being treated.
Secretary?
Yes, I'm being as clear as I can, sir. Respectfully, I'm trying to answer your question.
Yes or no, are we still putting children in cages?
Raft by Caleb Duarte, plaster. Caleb says, "A raft used to cross the Guatemala-Mexico border is recreated in drywall. The materials used to craft the illusion of prosperity, happiness, American exceptionalism, and white flight to the suburbs. This recreation is part of a series of community performances created by Central American refugees at immigrant safe houses in Mexico's southern border." ¿Y cuándo voy a llegar? By Brenda Morales, multimedia. Brenda says, "This piece is inspired by my dad and how he immigrated here in search for a better life and how that is repeated in me and probably future generations. But like, everyone deserves that? The ability to move and search?" Calling on Survival by Teresa Flores, multimedia. Teresa says, "Calling on Survival is a video reflection on the wisdom and stories that are passed down from our ancestors, grandparents, and parents to help us make it through times of struggle. The video features students from Fresno State's Chicano Artistic Expressions and contemporary Chicana Latina writing and culture courses instructed by Professor Carissa Garcia.
In closing, we as citizens have an opportunity to alter our future for the better by voting in the upcoming election and honoring our democracy and the huddled masses yearning to breathe free. On behalf of Arte Americas and the James B. McClatchy Foundation, thank you for joining us.